RevAna and other leaders from Unity Community of Light, a bilingual Unity ministry, welcome you to our Wednesday night Vespers meditation, a guided meditation including silence, music, affirmations, all to support your inner peace for better sleep and a fulfilling life. Connect effortlessly to Spirit and make your nightly routine more enriching. Let go and embrace divine guidance in your nighttime experience and life. Inhale and exhale. Relax, listen, open your heart. All is well. Good evening.
Good evening.
Please be welcome to the Vespers. I'm going to call it now Dialogue and Meditation.
Okay.
And let's see what else unfolds from this. It feels like we got something here. And the most important thing is that I know we will feel that we feel engaged. We feel that this is something spirit-led. And whatever.
Feels good.
It feels good,
Yeah.
yes, at the soul level. So thank you for...
I like arguing with you.
I know. And I like being challenged.
Oh,
yeah.
Good thing.
I think one of the things I realized, knowing you and hanging around you, that we've had as a natural way in our unfoldment as human beings a passion for God and for truth, and that somehow we have both been spirit-led, right?
I think so.
And it's interesting because even though I started in Unity in my teenager years, it was when I was 20 that I was led to the meditating more formally through transcendental meditation and the Maharishi. I even
you get a mantra in the whole night.
Yeah. I even went to the Maharishi International University in Iowa when I was 20. You know, my parents have always been very receptive. But for a while, they were like, Anna, you want to go there? I said, yeah. And I went there to spend a weekend when I was 20. And I've always been attracted to, Gandhi and Maharishi, then Maharaji from Ramdas, his guru. And even though we had not really talked about it, but when I was going through my cancer experience, I remember this is the book I had every so often. Yeah. And for some reason, this is a book that my parents had at the house. You know, it's not something that I bought.
It's found all over the world.
Right.
And it's in many languages.
Yes.
I think it's sold in 40 countries.
Oh,
something
really?
like that. Yeah, it's a big book.
And then we know that, like many of this in Paramahansa Yogananda was one of the ones who were led to America. I believe that all these Indian gurus had really a mission to awaken.
He was one of the first. The first was Vivekananda in the late 1800s, early 1900s, and then Yoganandaji came in the 1920s. So he was probably one of the first handful of yogis from India coming to America. His big claim to fame is he came to America, but he was kind of a superstar. I mean, he gave a lecture tour all over the country. He attracted thousands of people. He really brought yoga to the West in a way that no one had before. Vivekananda did, but Yogananda really brought it.
You know, it's interesting because even in Puerto Rico, where I'm from, I remember in the 90s, this Unity friend of mine took me several times to the Self-Realization Fellowship. And I remember walking there and loving it, loving the energy. There's just a sense of sanctity and sacredness that sometimes I feel, I mean, I don't want to put Unity down, but sometimes, we get so practical and so mental that there's this, probably has to do with my devotional nature, the need for rituals, for presence, for the sacred. And I think that when I'm connecting with gurus and teachers or saints like this, that almost like gets ignited in me.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's a devotional aspect, isn't
yes,
it?
yes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Why? And also, I want to mention also Mayor Baba, who has a center in South Carolina, and I know it's a controversial figure, but Sai Baba, whose congregation here in Raleigh used to come and do their services here while I was here, and for some reason I have had dreams about those two, that they have shown up for me, not Paramahansa, that's probably yours. Tell me about your lineage, Michael.
So my teacher was Roy Eugene Davis, who was a direct disciple of Paramahansa Yogananda. So my lineage is the Kriya Yoga Guru lineage, is how we say it.
How would you summarize what Kriya Yoga is?
So Kriya Yoga is not a separate kind of yoga. There's an emphasis on the Kriya Pranayama. So whereas transcendental meditation, that's yoga, but their emphasis is on mantra meditation.
Yes.
Our emphasis is on Kriya Yoga, Kriya Pranayama. That is a specific breathing technique unique to this tradition.
And can you tell me?
But we still do all the yogas. We practice our Hatha Yoga, we meditate, we do all the things that yoga teaches us, but our emphasis during meditation is on the Kriya Pranayama.
And that's how you do it?
I practice Kriya almost every day.
And when you're doing guided meditations at Unity Triangle, is that how you do it, or is your
No, it's just
that's your Michael Siga way?
Well, everything I am is because of my teacher, Roy Eugene Davis. He trained me to meditate like that. And that was the way when you sat with him, he led meditations too. He led meditations much more in the silence than I do.
But in your personal practice, do you do more like Kriya Yoga?
Every meditation practice for me includes a Kriya Pranayama session.
Oh, wow. Interesting. Mm-hmm. And what would you say that you resonate the most with Yogananda? What aspect of anything that you go like, and because I remember you
probably his devotional aspect is bhakti, but he was also a strict disciplinarian in his own way, from what I've read. My own guru was more a wisdom Gaina yogi, but he still had a devotional aspect to him as well.
Why do you think made Roy be his disciple? How did that happen?
I don't know.
You don't know, but it just happened.
Yeah, it's a matter of the heart, isn't it? I mean, I know a lot of people that have what we call guru shopping and ashram hopping. I never did. I met Roy at 26. I knew he was my teacher then, and I have never. I'm 64 next month, and I never looked any other tradition. Was never interested in it. I resonated with it immediately, and never looked around.
But I know
I knew it when I found it. Aha, this is it.
Interesting, but because Roy was a disciple of Yogananda, there's definitely a big connection there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it's hard for me to decide which guru is most important to me. Probably Roy, because I spent 30 years with him.
And in the bigger picture, the guru is it's the inner guidance, but
absolutely.
But it's at the physical level.
Yogananda used to say, God is the only true guru. I am just representing God.
So when
Roy would behave the same way. Roy's entire way of training his disciples was to make them independent, not reliant. Which is one of the ways of a real spiritual teacher. They're not asking you to lick their boots.
Yes.
They're trying to make you strong and whole unto yourself.
And it's interesting, Mike, that like I have been the type of person that when I have found, and I've had big mentors in my path, and I realized that in me there's this tendency to make them bigger than God. But as I have matured spiritually, I realized that there have been instruments that it's that the right leader will point you inward, not paying attention to whoever, whatever. It's like, how can that mentor or guru point you inward?
Right. I remember this story one time. Someone wrote to Roy and said, I'm very disappointed you've fallen off the pedestal I put you on. And Roy wrote back and said, shame on you for putting me on a pedestal.
So true.
Yeah.
And I've realized it. I've had people in my, in my own ministry that they refer to me like, oh, she's my guía espiritual, my spiritual guide.
Mm-hmm.
And I keep, I stop them there because it's like, no, I'm here and I can be a great facilitator, but don't lose yourself in thinking that the guidance is coming from me, because it's not a good place to be for anybody.
Through you.
It's coming through me, and like what I tell
them I can be their spiritual friend.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because I did once a podcast that was called "The Heart is the Guru," and true, everything has to be run by the heart. Even and I don't know if it's happened to you, but in my own path, I've had certain stages of my life where there was let's say a specific spiritual friend, and then
helped you in your awakening path.
And then the relationship was over, or it shifted, and maybe somebody else came or not. But I remember in those days that I used to go to visit the self-realization fellowship in Santurce, Puerto Rico. I remember at the time I was opening up to, like, I really need somebody physical here. And later on, somebody showed up, and I realized that my soul was already saying, this part of my life, I need a specific physical person to navigate whatever process I was going through. So I want to just thank
that person comes. They're rare and hard to find.
Yes.
And a lot of it is because they are not committed to their own awakening. Because if you find a real spiritual teacher, they're always inwardly growing and experiencing more and more of God within them.
Yes.
And otherwise you outgrow them.
Right. Oh, it's happened to me already.
That's what you were saying, I think, right? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. But then we're grateful for the contribution and
love them and bless them.
So we'd like to have a meditation today and to have everybody maybe connect with all the spiritual helpers that have been on our path.
You want to lead us into that?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
you lead us.
Yeah. Okay. So we get centered, and maybe if you need to rearrange yourself in the seat or wherever you might be. I'm going to ask you to, if you feel like it, to smile with me as a sign of gratitude for God's abundance in the way that the right and perfect facilitator, teacher, or friend has come your way. And at this very moment, we acknowledge that it's all coming from the one source. And that we see the perfection of divine order as we have encountered these helpers that have shown us a higher or a deeper perspective of whatever process we might have been going through, which reassures us how supported, cared for, loved we really are. We say, thank you, Spirit, knowing that the more we have learned and expanded, the more independent we have become. The more of spiritual sovereignty we have acquired. And that is actually the path. It's all in. And we just open to letting it be. We rest in that beautiful space of gratitude and joy.
Keeping our eyes raised, looking out into inner space, connecting with that omnipresent truth within us, knowing that God is the true teacher, and that we can honor that supreme truth within us, letting the silence, peace blossom from within, resting in the awareness of self, experiencing the complete contentment, fulfillment in that experience. We know that when the timing is right, the teacher will come, whether in the form of a person or life experiences. We accept that all lessons come from God, and that we can see them as for our highest good. Let us now acknowledge our own truth, and that at the core we are pure existence being, immortal, whole, complete, and that what is true for us is also true for every other living creature on the planet. Om, peace. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, God. See you next time.
See you next time.